चल, let's start with poetry section today. We'll be covering appreciation and then we'll be covering the poetic devices in the entire poem. You have to remember, like I said yesterday, poetic devices के questions आपको आते हैं two types में. One, where the line of the poem is given and you have to identify the device, or the device is given and you have to identify the line. That is vice versa. समझा? This is the type of questions that will be asked for your poetic device, that is A3 या A5. A3 होगा generally figure of speech, A4 is your personal response, A5 is poetic composition. ठीक है? Any doubt? Understood? Shall we start? Now, your first poem, Song of the Open Road, is written by Walt Whitman. Very easy poem. The grammar and the words used are also very easy. ठीक है? Afoot and light-hearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me. The long brown path before me, leading wherever I choose. How has he decided to walk on the journey? Afoot, and he is very light-hearted. He is not stressed about anything. And he has a very light heart, and with a very light mind, without any worries and stress, he started walking on the open road. Now, open road here suggests, what does it suggest? No. Open suggests freedom. This road means, the जर्नी ऑफ लाइफ. ठीक है? आगे उसकी जो भी जर्नी बची है, ही इज गोइंग टू वॉक ऑन दैट जर्नी ऑफ लाइफ ऑन अ वेरी लाइट हार्टेड नोट. अंडरस्टूड? एनी डाउट? ओपन रोड signifies journey of life, and the entire poem signifies that one has to take care of the journey, one has to enjoy the journey rather than the destination. Understood? Healthy, free, the world before me. Healthy, I am healthy mentally, physically. I am free, free from all burdens, free from all responsibilities, duties, restrictions. The world before me. The world before me is, again, it shows now he has the entire life in front of him and he can start walking on the journey of life. Long brown path before me, leading wherever I choose. Long brown path, here the road, wherever I choose. Now it is his freedom and will to choose his own journey and destination. Understood? Understood the first stanza? We'll be going a little quick. Henceforth I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. Henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. Done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticism, strong and content, I travel the open road. What he means in the second stanza is, henceforth, now that he started walking on the journey of his life in a free and a freedom manner, he does not ask for good fortune. That is, he is not praying for good luck. He feels, he decides his own destiny. I myself am good fortune is he decides his own destiny. He is not praying that you give me a good life or I shall have good luck and there should be no bad luck on my journey. He is not asking any of it. Now he is decided to write his own destiny and decide what is to be done, what is not to be done. Henceforth I whimper no more. Whimper no more. What does whimper mean? Cry. Here it means complaint. He is not complaining about anything. He is not crying about anything. He is happy. He has accepted the way it is and he started moving on the journey. Postpone no more. Postpone no more. That is delay no more. Here it also means procrastination. That is, what is procrastination? Thinking कि अभी 10 दिन है तो कल पढ़ लेंगे, फिर परसों पढ़ लेंगे, फिर इतना टाइम है, दैट इज़ प्रोकास्टिनेशन. कल से वर्कआउट करूँगी, मंडे से करूँगी, 1 तारीख से करूँगी, दैट इज़ प्रोकास्टिनेशन. सो हियर द पोएट मीन्स दैट आई विल नॉट प्रोकास्टिनेट एनीथिंग नाउ, I will not complain about anything now, and I will just start walking on this journey of the open road. Need nothing. He needs nothing. He is content and satisfied in what he has achieved and what he has in life today. Done with indoor complaints. Indoor complaints, basically it means quarrels or problems of daily life. डेली लाइफ के इंडोर कंप्लेंट्स जैसे यू नो यू हैव टू earn for food, then you have to look for groceries, then you have to buy clothes, then you have to look after the house, you have to pay rent, you have to pay salaries, you have to pay wages, you have to take care of the entire household and living, right? So he's done with these indoor complaints now. He's done with the libraries. Libraries is again thoughts. He's done with overthinking, and quarrel is criticism. So whatever criticism that he has got so far, every day someone is criticized for something. You go to work, you're criticized for not working properly. You're cooking food, you're criticized for something, your food is not good. So he's done with all these thoughts, criticisms, and indoor complaints and problems of daily life. Strong, he's strong, mentally he's strong now. Content, he's happy. I travel the open road. Again, he started walking on the journey of life which is open, that is free. Understood the second stanza? The earth that is sufficient. I do not want the constellations any nearer. I know they are very well where they are. I know they suffice for those who belong to them. Earth that is sufficient. Earth here means a normal life without any luxuries or a lavish life. In constellations are generally the stars. Sorry, these are the stars. That means luxury and lavish life. So what he means is, now I do not want any luxurious life, I do not want any lavish life. Earth is sufficient for me, that is a normal life is sufficient for me. I do not want the constellations any nearer. I do not want any luxury, any lavishness near me. I know they are very well where they are. जिन लोगों को वो चाहिए, जिनके पास वो है, वो वहाँ पे ठीक है. They are well fitted over there. I am not in need of any of these luxuries and lavish life. I know this suffice, satisfy for those who belong to them. So they satisfy the people to whom luxury belongs. People who like to spend on luxury and lavish life and big houses and good food and good lifestyle. So he says that it belongs to the ones who want to live that life. For me, the earth is sufficient. Now, if you see, these first 3 stanzas talk about his journey. Okay? They talk about the journey which is free for him. What does he say? Open road. He does not pray for any good fortune. He's going to decide his own journey. He's going to decide his own destiny. He's done with all the indoor complaints. He's done with all the criticism. He's done with all the thoughts and everything. And earth is sufficient for him. He does not want luxury and lavishness. So for these first 3 stanzas, he's talking about the journey, which is open for him. The road is open for him. And he's free from all these things. And he's very free and without any restrictions taking on the journey. The 4th stanza is a paradox to what has been said in the first 3 stanzas. In the first 3 stanzas, the main gist is that he is free from everything. Mentally he is free, he has no stress, he is very light-hearted, and he does not have any burdens. This is the gist of the first 3 stanzas. Now comes the 4th stanza, which is in brackets. If you observe, the 4th stanza is in brackets. That is a paradox. Why? Still here I carry my old delicious burdens. Pehle he is saying he is without any stress, without any burdens. He is done with the complaints, he is done with the criticisms. Now here he says still he is carrying those old burdens. And these burdens are compared to delicious. ठीक है? वो क्या मेटाफॉर है या क्या सिमिली है या कौन सा पोएटिक डिवाइस है वो आगे देखेंगे, बट बर्डन्स हियर आर कंपेयर्ड टू बीइंग डिलीशियस. I carry them, men and women, I carry them with wherever I go. First stanza he says I am free, light-hearted. Again here he says I carry them. What does he carry? These burdens. Men and women, he means to say men and women which are a part of his life, which were a part of his life. Be it his wife, be it his parents, be it his kids, son, daughter, brother, sister, wife. Men and women also mean, in the corporate world, when he had his boss, when he had his colleagues, and the memories that he has carried or, talked about in his journey of life. The men and women that he has spent his life with, communicated with, shared memories with. So he is carrying these burdens of these same men and women, basically the people who have influenced his life closely. I carry them wherever I go. No matter wherever you start walking on this journey of open road, you cannot leave the people behind, you cannot leave the burdens behind. That is something that is always going to be a part of your life, even if you like that particular person or you don't like that particular person. If you like that memory, you don't like that memory, it is always going to be etched in your mind somewhere or the other. So you are not going to be completely free until you die. You will always be filled with thoughts, there will always be criticism, there will always be complaints, there will always be something that you feel as I am in need of. You will never be satisfied with anything. So that is why this fourth stanza is a paradox or a contrast written in brackets, wherein he says, although I have started this journey on a free note, there are burdens and there are people who have influenced my life, which I will carry wherever I go. I am not going to be completely free from them. I will always be bound by them. I swear it is impossible for me to get rid of them. You cannot get rid of memories and people. They are always going to be a part of your life. I am filled with them and I will fill them in return. I am filled with them. He is filled with all these burdens, memories, and he will fill them in return. Now that he started on this journey, he will make sure that these spaces are replaced by something else, or these blanks are replaced by the journey that he is walking on. So now his heart is filled with all these burdens, the memories, the people that have influenced his life. Now that he started walking on this journey, light-hearted, freely, open road, he will fill these spaces, or he will replace these burdens with something that he'll find in the journey ahead of his life. Understood the basic poem? Want me to read again? No? Understood? Very easy. Shall we move on to the summary? Chalo, I'll read the summary very quickly. Walt Whitman's Song of the Open Road, it celebrates freedom, self-reliance, life's journey, using physical road as a metaphor for the personal growth, exploration and democracy. So the open road here is a metaphor of life and growth and exploration. Urging readers to leave stifling indoor life for authentic experiences, connect with diverse people and embrace challenges with courage and optimism as an endless adventure. The poem champions breaking societal norms to find true self-discovery and joy in the present moment, finding strength in nature and human connection. This line, self-discovery and joy in the present moment, this is the open road, which means you should focus on the journey rather than the, don't mind my writing guys, rather than the destination. What are the key themes and ideas? Freedom and adventure. He's on the free road, open road. The core message is liberation from constraints, encouraging a life of constant movement, exploration and joy. No matter whichever road you are in your life, or even if it is free and open, you have to live that with acceptance and happiness. The open road as a symbol, it represents limitless possibilities, democracy, human connection and journey of self-discovery. Self-reliance. Self-reliance, why? Because he says that I ask no good fortune, I am myself good fortune. That means that he is self-reliant now. He is not dependent on the job or people or his work or his family for happiness and money and everything. He is going to decide his own destiny now. That is self-reliance. So he's understood that on this journey of open road, I am very self-reliant. Earth is sufficient. I do not want any luxuries and lavish life. Embracing life's burdens. This is again an important theme because this talks about the fourth stanza of the poem. Challenges and hardships are not avoided but welcomed as a part of authentic experience. You cannot avoid challenge, you cannot avoid hardship, you cannot avoid bad memories, you cannot avoid people. Everything is also and always going to be a part and parcel of life. It is up to you to how to deal with these problems, but they are always going to be somewhere or the other a part in your life. You cannot be free from them. Connection and companionship. The road fosters connection with all types of people, finding true fellowship beyond societal boundaries. Understood? ये इतना important नहीं है. This is just to make you understand what the theme is. What is important? If you do this table, you will be very much confident in answering the poetry section, and you will be very much confident in answering the appreciation of the poetry section. Okay? Now, about the poem, the poet and the title. The Song of the Open Road is a poem by Walt Whitman, a famous American poet known for his free verse style. Free verse, there is no set rhyming scheme in his poems. These poems are easy to understand, the words are easy, and it is a free verse, not like a very poetic or a poem rhythm to it. The poem celebrates freedom, adventure and journey of life. The title suggests a joyful, optimistic song about traveling on an open road, symbolizing endless possibilities. Song of the Open Road. So the title is appropriate. Why? Because it talks about the journey of the life and the song that this poet is singing about his journey. So in appreciation, while answering the question, you will first have to write the pointer. What is the pointer about the poem and poet? Then you will write this part. Second, you will write about theme, then you write about this part. So it is going to be a pointer. I had students come in yesterday asking the doubt as to how to write appreciation. Should it be written point wise? Should it be written in a descriptive manner, in a paragraph wise? I will suggest write about the part that is about the poem, about the poet, then describe theme, describe the theme, poetic device, describe the poetic devices. It will give a good presentation effect to your paper. Secondly, the poet will understand that you know the format of appreciation. Understood? So make sure that you don't write it in a descriptive manner, because what happens is, descriptive may, even if you write it in a right manner, you've written the poetic devices correctly, you've written the poet correctly, you've written the theme correctly, but it becomes confusing. And appreciation is for 4 marks. And it is easy to score if you write it in a point-wise manner. That is feature and answer, feature and answer. Understood? Any doubt? Theme, central theme of the poem is freedom and the joy of journey rather than destination. It highlights beauty of life's adventure, openness of the world. It also speaks about companionship as the poet invites others to join him. Yes? Theme. Yes, but then you'll have to elaborate that one theme. Instead of that, write 2 themes that the answer looks elaborated. Poetic style. What is the poetic style? Poem is written in free verse without a fixed rhyme scheme or regular rhythm. Whitman's style is conversational, natural and expansive, making the reader feel like a companion on the journey. Language and poetic devices used. The language is simple, direct and optimistic. Whitman uses repetition. Henceforth I whimper no more, henceforth I ask no good fortune is repetition to create a rhythm, emphasize important ideas. He has also used vivid imagery, visual sensory pictures of travel and freedom. Imagery hai, there is metaphor. The title itself is a metaphor. there is alliteration, there is repetition, there is imagery, there is, do you remember? Inversion, correct? You can write these examples and you can write the poet has used poetic devices such as metaphor, alliteration, repetition, imagery and inversion to make it more poetic, and different poetic devices have been used thoroughly in the poem. Understood? Special features: poem celebrates individuality and shared human experience. It breaks traditional poetic rules, reflecting spirit of freedom. Poem is inclusive and invites everyone to feel connected. Message, value and moral. What is the message? The poem teaches us to live life with courage, joy and openness. It promotes freedom, self-reliance, friendship and acceptance of the unknown. It encourages optimism and life's journey. So overall, message and theme are somewhat the same, but you will have to write two different points to make sure that you elaborate the answer. So what is the theme and the message if we see collaboratively? Living life with courage. Second, openness, acceptance and self-reliance. Understood? These are the themes. You can write it in theme also, in message also. You just have to tweak the words and the tone of your answer. Personal opinion, again you have to write it in appreciation. The poem is inspiring and uplifting. आप लोगों की ऑलमोस्ट सारी पोएम्स इंस्पिरेशनल है, सारी अस्पायरिंग है, सारी अपलिफ्टिंग है, कुछ नेचर पोएम्स है, कुछ पोएम्स टॉक अबाउट रियल लाइफ, some talk about reality of the life. So use these words. I find this poem very inspirational. हर पोएम में लिख सकते हो ये. I find this poem very inspirational. I find this poem very uplifting. The poet talks about the beauty of nature. The poet talks about the beauty of the open road. The poet talks about the beauty of acceptance. The poet talks about how one should be self-reliance. Same words है. ये words, keywords अगर आप एक भी poem के, किसी भी poem के 5 से 6 keywords याद रखो, तो you will be able to use it in your answers wherever necessary. Where you can use it? Theme, message, personal response. Understood? The free verse style makes it powerful and easy to understand. Overall, it is a beautiful celebration of life, freedom and hope. Understood? Any doubt? Appreciation समझा है? Easy? Poetic devices? चलो. Long brown path before me, leading wherever I choose. Alliteration, repetition of sound, L. Long brown path, leading. Long and leading. ठीक है? Henceforth, I ask no good fortune. I am myself good fortune. Again, in the second line, he has also said henceforth. तो यहाँ पे दो repetition है. Henceforth का repetition है, good fortune का भी repetition है. No need to write, I will be sharing these notes with you. Okay? I carry them, men and women, I carry them wherever I go. Repetition, I carry them, I carry them. Understood? Again, repetition. Still here, I carry my old delicious burdens. Burdens are a negative word, delicious is a positive word. So here, first it is paradox. Paradox, that is two opposite ideas have been represented and burdens have been compared to something that is delicious. So that is also a metaphor. Okay? This is also a metaphor. Done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticism. Complaints and querulous. What is the poetic device? Tautology. Tautology means when two ideas are represented or two same meaning words are represented in one line. Querulous means complaints. So complaints and querulous have been presented in one line, same meaning, same word meanings in one line. That is tautology. Still here I carry my old delicious burdens. Burdens are compared to something delicious. Two unlike things are compared to each other, making it a metaphor. Henceforth I need no more. Old sweet memories are indirectly compared to something delicious. Climax, words are arranged in ascending order of importance. I need no more. I ask no more. What is that line? Henceforth, need no more, postpone no more, need nothing. So it has been arranged in an ascending order. Querulous criticism, again alliteration, repetition of sound, consonant sound, k. Strong in content, I travel the open road. Here it is inversion. The sentence is inversed. The words of the sentence are inversed in a manner to give a poetic or a rhythmic effect. The correct order should be I travel the open road, strong and content. I am filled with them and I'll fill them in return. Repetition, afoot and light-hearted I take to the open road. Again inversion, words are arranged in wrong manner to give a rhythmic effect. Done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticism. Again, ideas are arranged in ascending order. Song of the open road, personification. Non-living object, road is given the human-like quality of singing. So here it is said that the road is singing, the open road is singing. So non-living object has been given a human-like quality of singing a song. I carry my old delicious burdens. Burdens are described delicious. This is done repetition and paradox. So it is tautology, alliteration, repetition, metaphor, personification, inversion. Inversion काफ़ी ज़्यादा जगह पे है. Paradox. 7 to 8 poetic devices you have. Will you be able to identify which line has which poetic device now? Any doubt? Moving to the next poem. Again, very easy. ठीक है? I will draw a table once this poem is done. Either you click a photo of that table or you write it down. That table summarizes the entire poem. ठीक है? Now, Indian Weavers by Sarojini Naidu. It talks about the weavers, and this poem takes place in a old Indian market wherein, or bazaars of India, wherein all these merchants, weavers, tailors, sellers or carpenters, furniture makers, artisans, etc. used to portray or sit in that bazaar, and once you enter that bazaar you will be able to see and buy everything. So it is like a typical old Indian bazaar scenario, and here the poet is asking these Indian weavers what cloth they are weaving. This poem, although it is very easy to understand, it holds a very symbolic meaning of the clothes that are woven and the colors of the clothes. So there is a symbolic meaning to the colors of the clothes that are mentioned. What is that symbolic meaning? We'll see that. Weavers weaving at break of day. Break of day. Why do you weave a garment so gay? Cheerful, bright garment. Blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. Halcyon wild is a bird, and the color of the garment is blue. Very beautiful, bright blue color. We weave the robes of a newborn child. So it is day and they are weaving. Early morning hai, blue color hai, and the phase that is described here is birth and childhood. Understood? So this early morning is also compared to the start of life or the birth of a child or the new life that is started. Day suggests new life, start of new life. Second stanza, weavers weaving at fall of night. Why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage wheels of a queen. Here it was, garment was cheerful blue color. Here now it is plume, it is bright colors of like the feathers of the peacock, purple and green. So if you see the feathers of the peacock, there is a very beautiful tint of greenish, bluish colors and violet. And if you see the neck also of the peacock, there are 2 to 3 different shades, and that shading is very beautifully placed. So that is the bright garment that they are weaving at the fall of night during evening time, and while the night time is approaching. What are they weaving? Marriage wheels of a queen. This shows youth. Marriage describes youth. So this phase is showing us youth and young age. Weavers weaving solemn and still. What do you weave in the moonlight chill? Moonlight chill, now it is very late in the night. Late night phase hai ye. White as a feather, white as a cloud. First it was blue, then it was peacock colors, very bright violet and green and blue. Now it is white, plain white color, just like the cloud and just like the feather. White as feather, white as cloud. We weave a dead man's funeral shroud. Shroud is the white cloth that is wrapped upon the dead body. So the weavers are weaving the dead man's shroud. Understood? The poem is very easy to understand. What it signifies is the colors and the phase of life. So when you are born, there is a very happy moments, and abhi wo hota hai, wo it is a girl to pink, it is a boy blue. So these are very happy colors and very sky blue color and coral pink वगैरह colors होते हैं, which are very light. So at the start of the day, they are weaving the robes of a baby. So it shows start of life, childbirth, and a new life that has started. And the color is blue. Blue is a happy color, and the entire scenery or the entire moment is happy. Everyone is happy when a child is born. Second, fall of night towards evening, they are weaving something that is very bright in color, blue, green, violet. They are weaving the marriage wheels of a queen. So it shows youth, it shows young age, it shows the age when two adults or two young people get married and are ready to start a family and ready to start a life together. That is in the second para. That is evening and bright blue and peacock colors. Last is death, which is the garment, the color that they are weaving is white. White is feather, white is cloud. It signifies death. And it is late night, moonlight chill. The chill also suggests and signifies death. It is very chilly and very cold, and death is cold. Birth is warm. Warm as in the sense is warm, the notion is warm. Everyone is feeling warm, everyone is feeling loved and affectionate, and everyone is surrounded, and the baby is surrounded by everyone, and everyone is very affectionate towards that child. Everyone wants to nurture that child. That is shown in day night. Day part. Winter, moonlight chill, death, cold, no feelings, everyone is crying, end of life. So this is how the poet has tried to show us childbirth to death and the phases of life, and these phases of life are covered through description of colors. Understood? The table that I am saying is this breakdown. Morning, childhood. Weavers are weaving bright blue clothes. Newborn baby, symbolizing new life, happiness and innocence. Second, evening, youth and marriage. Vibrant purple and green. What does it signify? Excitement, joy and celebration of youth and matrimony, married life and a new life that is to be started. Night suggests death and old age. Moonlight, they wave plain white funeral shroud for a dead man, signifying end of life, stillness and solemnity. Alone, a man when he is born, if you see the symbolic meaning of this poem, when a baby is born, he is surrounded by so many people, right? he will there will be his grandparents, both set of grandparents who will teach him. They will become like a child with him. Parents will teach him something else. His friends will teach him something else. There are uncles and aunts who will nurture him in another way, right? So he gets different amount of love and different type of love from each member of the family and friends around. Death is, everyone cares for that person who is dying, but that man goes alone. He does not take anything with him. He does not take people that he has earned. He does not take money that he's earned. He does not take the house that he's built. He goes alone. So that is solemn and still. Whereas baby birth is all filled with love and warmth. Understood the poem? Yes or no? Easy to understand. Shall I move to the appreciation directly? Do you want me to draw the table of you? Have you understood with this help? Okay. Appreciation about the poem. Indian Weavers is a short narrative poem, very short poem of 3 stanzas in the form of question and answers. First she asks questions, what are you weaving? Then the weavers are answering that we weave the robe of the child, we weaving the dead man's shroud, etc. It reflects Indian tradition and culture, especially the importance of colors and different stages of human life. If you see, why Indian is symbolized here is, if you go in a proper Indian marriage, you will see different shades of, colors for the bridal outfit, the groom outfit. Whereas in Western tradition, what they wear for their marriages is white, and at the time of death it is black. So here Indian bazaar is also signified of, which is full of colors. There is different color to different phase and different occasion in our Indian society. Sarojini Naidu, rightly called as the Nightingale of India, her poetry reflects true spirit and soul of India. Her poem expresses deep philosophy and emotions of life. About the title focuses on lives of Indian weavers. It suggests that the poem is about different kinds of clothes they weave for various important occasions in life. These are all important occasions. Marriage is an important occasion, birth is an important occasion, death is one of the occasions of life. So these weavers are also playing an important part in the event that is happening in the house, right? Baby hai to unke paas jaake cloth lena hai, marriage hai to you weaving clothes from them. Death, at the time of death also you are getting the shroud done from them. So it talks about the weavers of the Indian society. Theme describes 3 stages of human life, that is birth, youth and death or old age, through colors and different times of day. Different times of day भी है, different colors भी है, and उस different day time और colors के हिसाब से आपका stages दिखाए हुए हैं. Be present. Blue cloth is woven in the morning for birth. Green and purple is woven in the evening for marriage. White woven at night for death. Poetic style. The poetess uses simple, sweet and musical language. The poem has a rhythmic flow and contains musical words like halcyon, plumes and feathers. The rhyme scheme is AABB. Figures of speech include simile, metaphor, alliteration, imagery, right? Imagery is vividly common in all of your poems and दिख के आता है वो, बाजार का scene है, weavers है, right? Colors is imagery. Yes. Poetic style means in what style the poem is written. Is it a free verse or does it have a rhyming scheme? That means poetic style. Language is easy. Poetic style is, it has a rhyming scheme of AABB. Understood? Poetic devices, weavers weaving at the break of night. अभी ये weavers weaving तीनों stanza में है. पहले तो alliteration आ जाएगा. W, sound of work, weavers weaving, चल. Weavers weaving at break of day. Break of day is indirectly compared to beginning of life or birth. So that is a metaphor and alliteration. Why do you weave a garment so gay? Why, again, garment, g. So alliteration. It is also interrogation because a question has been asked. So interrogation is present in all 3 stanzas. Right? Blue as the wing of halcyon wild. the color of the garment is directly compared to blue wing using as. As and like का use जब होता है तो it is simile. Alliteration, wing and wild. W, the sound of W is getting repeated. There's also inversion because the words are not arranged in grammatical order for the poetic effect. We weave the robes of newborn child. Weaving, जैसे मैंने बोला, alliteration आएगा. Simile, like the plumes of peacock, purple and green. Simile, use of the word like. Understood? What do you weave in the moonlight chill? Moonlight chill is compared to death and old age. So it is a metaphor. Two unlike things are compared to each other without the use of words like and as. White as a feather, white as a cloud. This is not metaphor, this is simile because of the use of the word as. So the color of the white is compared to that of feather and cloud. Understood? Simile, metaphor, imagery, alliteration, inversion, repetition, interrogation. Again, 7 to 8 poetic devices, easy to understand. Once you are able to understand the meaning of what that particular poetic device means, you will be able to identify that line, or it becomes easy to gauge which poetic device has been asked or used. Any doubt? Chal, we'll do this poem at the last because it has 17 stanzas. So उसके पहले अपन जो छोटे छोटे poems है वो ख़त्म कर लेते हैं. It is actually a very good poem, but it has 17 stanzas. Chal, have you earned your tomorrow? The title is very suggestive of what the entire poem is about. Chal, is anybody happier because you passed his way? Does anybody remember that you spoke to him today? This day is almost over and its toiling time is through. Is there anyone to utter now a kindly word of you? Did you give a cheerful greeting to the friend who came along, or a churlish sort of howdy and then vanish in the throng? Were you selfish, pure, or simple as you rushed along the way, or is someone mighty grateful for a deed you did today? Now in the first stanza, what he talks about is anybody happier because you passed his way? While going to work, you meet a lot of people when you are going through public transport, through metros, through rails, or this is a Western, it is written by an American poet. So he talks about the tubes and the metros that are used there for public transport, and people go to their work through these public transport. So whenever you're passing on the streets or while going to work, did you just smile at someone, or did you just greet someone, and because of that greeting or because of that smile, is anybody happier? Just because you passed someone today, is that other person happy because of you? Does anyone remember that you spoke to him today? And this speaking is not a normal work related talk or anything. Out of context, have you had a word with someone of how you're doing, how is your day, is something wrong with you, or you look beautiful today, or you're looking good today, or you smell good today, or your clothes are looking good today, I like the way you dressed. These are all out of context conversations that in one person does this conversations with other, the other person will remember it through the entire day, that someone told me that I'm looking very good today, someone told me that I'm smelling very good today. So is anybody happier, and does anybody remember that you spoke to that other person out of context? The day is almost over and his toiling time is through. Now this poem is written when the day is over. Day is over is the working hours are over and everybody is going back to their houses. They've done with their 9 to 5 or whatever the work timings are, and then they're going back to their houses for dinner and sleep. Its toiling time is through. Toiling time, the phase or the period of hard work is done now. Is there anyone to utter now a kindly word of you? Now that the day is over, is there any one person who can talk kind words about you? This is the first stanza. Did you give a cheerful greeting to the friend who came along? Did you cheerfully greet your colleague or your friend or anyone, any person or anyone you know going passing through you, that good morning, good evening, or have a good day, have a good work week, have a good weekend, whatever. So did you give a cheerful greeting or a churlish sort of howdy? Churlish is very rude. Rude sort of howdy. Howdy is how do you do? Basically short form of how do you do. So was it a rude, just a look and a rude greeting, and you just vanished in the crowd, strongest crowd? So he's asking, whatever you've greeted, whatever greeting is done, was it cheerful or was it churlish? That is rude. Were you selfish, pure and simple as you rushed along the way? Selfish, pure and simple, normal, like in everyday, were you selfish and did not greet anyone, did not talk to anybody, just passed your way? Or is someone mighty grateful for a deed you did today? Pure and simple is you did not make an attempt to help that other person, just by words or actually by doing something. Or is someone mighty grateful for a deed you did today? For example, even at your workplace, if there was any colleague or an employee who was facing a problem, did you go to an extent to help that other person? And that person is now grateful that you were able to solve that person's problem. So he's asking, was it a good greeting, cheerful greeting, or a rude greeting? Second is, were you selfish, pure and simple? You did not want to help anyone and you were in your own bubble? Or is someone grateful for the help that you did? Understood? 2 stanzas. Can you say tonight, in parting with the day that's slipping fast? Parting with the day that's slipping fast, it is almost evening time, the day is almost over. That you helped a single brother of the many that you passed. Single brother of the many that you passed is, you must have passed so many people while commuting to work. So that you helped a single brother. किसी को आपने help किया या अच्छे से बात किया, अच्छे से greet किया. Is a single heart rejoicing over what you did or said? Is a single heart rejoicing? Being happy and joyful over what you did or said. If you've helped someone, is that person, happy and rejoicing? Or if you've said something good, is that person happy or rejoicing? Does a man whose hopes were fading now with courage look ahead? Meaning, since the daytime and the work was started, there must be someone whose hopes were fading, with a problem that has caused in his life, कि अभी ये तो solve ही नहीं होगा. This is not solvable. What do I do? अभी क्या करूँगा मैं? And because you helped that person, now his hopes look courageous. The hopes that were fading away now look courageous and hopeful. Understood? Yes or no? Did you waste the day or lose it? Was it well or sorely spent? Waste the day or lose it? Waste the day is, you had the day, you could have made it productive for yourself and others. That is, you could have made it cheerful for others. Did you lose it? Lose it is, even if you were trying to do something, you just lost the day is over and you wasted the day. Was it well spent? Well spent is again, you've spent a good day and you've made others' day also good. Or it was sorely spent. You were not happy, you were irritated, आपने वो गुस्सा किसी और पे निकाला, या आपने किसी को wish भी नहीं किया, greeting भी नहीं किया, help भी नहीं किया, you were just, it was a day sorely spent. Did you leave a trail of kindness or a scar of discontent? Trail of kindness, if you are kind to someone, that other person also in turn tries to be kind to someone else. वो कौन सा सलमान खान का मूवी था? Instead of helping me, say thank you 3 times, or help someone 3 times, or say sorry. हाँ. So like that, have you left a trail of kindness, or there is a scar of discontent? Scar of discontent, if you are rude to someone purposely, or if you hurted someone, that person will remember that hurt and disrespect, that it will be like a scar which fades away slowly, but it remains for a long period of time. So did you leave a trail of kindness, or you left a scar of discontent? As you close your eyes in slumber, slumber is sleep. do you think that God would say? God would say, God will tell you, you have earned one more tomorrow by the work you did today. This is a very powerful line when he says that as you close your eyes and slumber, once you go to sleep, you know, वो होता है ना, नींद में होता है कि you see dreams or you connect to God or your soul is sleeping, whatever. So in that phase, will God come to you and tell you that have you earned your tomorrow by the deeds you did today, or you are not worthy of living one more day, is what the poem is. Have you earned your tomorrow is, if you done good karma, you get to live one another day, you get to live one extra tomorrow. If you haven't, I am not giving you one extra tomorrow and you don't deserve that. Harsh reality hai ye, karma, and it talks about deeds, but this is what the poem is. So the title also starts with an interrogation and the end of the poem is also a question, that the God is asking that are you worthy enough that I shall give you one extra day. Understood? Understood the poem? Key themes, again, self-reflection. The poem is a call to action promoting readers to review the day before it ends. Before you go to sleep, you always review your day, that have you been good to someone or have you been bad to someone, and how to, you know, solve that the next day. Be good to everyone and make sure that people around you are happy. Karma, it suggests direct connection between today's action and tomorrow's outcome. Whatever you do today is going to come back and circle back tomorrow. That is karma. So if you do good deeds will circle back. If you do bad deeds will circle back. Kindness, empathy. The poet is asking basically the readers to be kind and empathetic towards people around him. Responsibility, you should be responsible for creating your own good fortune by creating compassion and making the world better. You know, there are some people who will behave very badly with everyone. They look at the financial standing of the person. Financially अच्छा है तो ये अच्छे बात करेंगे, financially अच्छा नहीं है तो just like there are many people who treat their maids in not a good way. Sorry? Money oriented. So there are many people who do not treat their maids or the servants in a very good manner. And then these same people will go to temples every day and make sure that they are worshipping the God and doing everything that is possible in the temple. But then that is of no use, because if you cannot treat a person properly, God is not going to help you. If you are always going to be bad with others and then you say that because I worship my own God, God is with me, it is not going to happen. You have to be good to people. You have to serve humanity to receive humanity and be good. God's worship is a belief. God is with you. And because God is with you, you are getting one extra day to live. Right? Be it belief in any God, any religion. There is this general statement that I am saying. But it is not कि आप किसी के साथ भी कैसे भी कर्मा करो and then you pray to God that, you just give me a good life. You have to be the deciding factor of how your life is, good or bad. If you do good, good will happen with you. If you do bad, bad things will happen with you. That is the meaning of responsibility over here. Any doubt? Shall we go to the appreciation? That is in the appreciation. About the poem, poet and title, Have You Earned Your Tomorrow, is an inspirational and thought-provoking poem. Thought-provoking because it has asked you questions about your deeds and karma. Written by a famous British-American poet, Edgar Guest. He is known as people's poet because of his simple language and optimistic tone. Title is apt. अभी ये ट्रिक है. About the title जब लिखोगे कौन से भी appreciation में पहले लिखने का the title is very appropriate. क्यों वो आगे explain करने का, but ये line लिख के आने का. Understood? And self-explanatory. आपके poet के सभी poems के title self-explanatory है, तो ये भी word आप लगा सकते हो. I'm giving you these cheat codes so that you don't have to remember too many words. as it makes the reader think about their actions and impact on the future. Theme, central theme is kindness and social responsibility. Poet believes that one should live each day helping others and making small positive contributions to their lives. If we do good deeds, we truly earn a better tomorrow. This poem, Indian scenario में देखो, तो it is like a difference between Nasikkars, Mumbaikars and Punekars, right? Nasikkars do tend to help each other, while passing they'll talk. रास्ते पे कोई भी अनजान आदमी आपको थोड़ा बहुत भी हेल्प कर देगा कि कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो. Punekars you cannot expect. Mumbaikars is somewhat balanced. I don't know. Cannot decide about. Huh? No? Team Punekar? No? Team Mumbaikar? Nasikkar? Everyone? Good. Poetic style, language and poetic devices. Poem is written in simple, clear language, easy to use, easy to understand words. Consists of 4 stanzas of 4 lines. What is the style? 4 stanzas of 4 lines. The rhyme scheme is AABB. Poetic devices, alliteration, interrogation, inversion. नहीं है inversion? है? Shall we continue? Special features. Poem is written in the form of rhetorical questions, which makes the reader think deeply. Its simplicity, clarity and strong moral message are its main special features. Message. The poem teaches us that even small good deeds can make a big difference. It reminds us of our responsibility towards society. Kindness, compassion and helpfulness are the true ways to earn a better future. Personal opinion. I like this poem very much because it is highly inspiring. It teaches us the value of humanity and encourages us to be kind and helpful towards each other. Yes? Yes. Poetic device. Alliteration. Day is almost over, its toiling time is through. Repetition of sound. Letter T. Or is someone mighty grateful for a deed you did today? D. And also interrogation because it ends with a question mark. Did you waste the day or lose it, or was it well spent? Alliteration, repetition of sound W. Interrogation because the line ends with a question mark and there is a question asked. And then vanish in the throng. Then the throng. Alliteration. What is cynic doshe? We've done this in the class. जो क्लास में थे उनको याद रहेगा. क्लास में मेंटली थे उनको याद रहेगा. अब भी जैसे तुम लोग हो ना, दोपहर के 3:30 बजे आधे नींद में, शर्म करो, 1 महीने में बोर्ड्स है. Half of you are directly sleeping. 3:30 I understand, but still nap time I know. Don't go to sleep. What is cynic doshe? आपके पास अभी चैट जीपीटी भी है नहीं. I have kept your phones aside. Yes. Half of it is right. It means that one part is used to define an entire thing. That is a single heart rejoicing over what you said. Single heart here means it is not the literal heart or the biological heart. This heart is representing an entire human. So a single heart is a part that is representing the entire human being. That is cynic dosha. Understood? Is anybody happier? Again, interrogation, 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 interrogation. Almost पूरी poem में interrogation है. I wanted to ask you one thing, and we have done this in the class, but ये notes में नहीं है. Which poetic device is this? And it is not alliteration, and it is not a common poetic device. Repetition is common, guys. What is onomatopoeia? What is the sound here? No. Read the sentence carefully first. Huh? It's okay if you go wrong, no problem. It says the day is almost over and its toiling time is through. Day ka toiling time is through. KBC नहीं चल रहा है guys. Why are you giving me MCQs to judge and guess? Think. It has said the day's toiling time is through. Do you remember a word which starts with transferred? Transferred epithet. That is, the idea is transferred. Here it means day is almost over and its toiling time is through. Toiling time किसका होता है? Human beings का, because they work hard, they toil. Here it is transferred to the idea of day. That is transferred epithet. Guys, अब भी हाथ में फोन्स होते तो तुरंत चैट जीपीटी किया होता, नहीं? बुक्स है सामने, वो नहीं यूज करोगे. It is given in your digest. Chalo, write this down. Transferred epithet. Fast, huh? We have to finish grammar also today. Chalo. Understood transferred epithet. Write the line which is used as transferred epithet. Third line in your poem. Third line in the first stanza. Transferred epithet. Chalo. Written. Yes or no? Next poem, 2.5. 2.6. No. No. No break. No break. 2.6. 2.5 है. Father Returning Home by Dilip Chitre. This is an autobiographical poem written by an Indian poet, Dilip Chitre. My father travels on the late evening train, standing among silent commuters in the yellow light. Suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. Now here, late evening train and silent commuters and yellow light. These three words suggest struggle and hard work. That his father has worked for the entire day and he's taken a late evening train. So he has a long working hour, long working day, and now he is returning home in a late evening train. Standing also suggests struggle and hard work. Standing among silent commuters. Why silent? When you start the day, when you are going, you are all baate karoge, there is conversation, there is chit chat, you will be, you will have good energy. Coming back in the late evening train, your battery is almost died and you are in no mood to talk to anybody. So he is standing among these silent commuters in the yellow light. His shirt and pants are soggy and his black raincoat is falling apart. Suggests stained with mud and his back stuffed with books is falling apart. His shirts and pants, I've read it wrongly, I'm reading it correctly again. His shirts and pants are soggy and his black raincoat stained with mud, and his bag stuffed with books is falling apart. Bag stuffed with books, heavy workload. His eyes dimmed by the age, dimmed by they've started becoming chota chota because of the age, fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. Now, suburbs sliding past his unseeing eyes, ये एक important line है. They will ask you why unseeing eyes. So, I had explained this to you in the class. He's traveling and taking this train every day. He's seen these suburbs, he's seen those houses and suburbs passing. Unseeing eyes is, although his eyes are open and they are able to see, but he's not looking at those passing suburbs because he's already done that, and he's now, his eyes dimmed by age are fading homeward. Fading homeward, वो suburbs नहीं देख रहा है, कुछ नहीं देखना उसको, उसका अभी मन सिर्फ घर की ओर है. He just wants to reach his own house through the humid monsoon night. Now I can see him getting off the train. How is he getting off the train? Like a word dropped from a long sentence. Whenever there is a long sentence and if one or two words are dropped, the sentence starts becoming easy. Like that, the train is also so much stuffed and he's done for the day and he's tired. So the way he gets off the train is like a word dropping off from a long sentence. It actually has no relation. These two sentences have no actual relation. But आपको boards में दिया है तो आपको करना पड़ेगा, मुझे सिखाना पड़ेगा. He hurries across the length of the grey platform. Hurries, crosses the railway line, enters the lane. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Although they are sticky with mud, he hurries onward. Yes. Screen sharing has stopped. Done? He hurries across the length of the grey platform, crosses the railway line, enters the lane. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Although his chappals are sticky with all the chikkal that he has, he is ghai going towards his own house. Home again is, sorry, home again, he's reached his own house. I see him drinking weak tea. Weak मतलब चाय weak नहीं है. It is basically, it is late in the evening and maybe, someone must have just made the tea and left for him to just make it warm again or just, anyhow. उसको बस अभी घर सोना है, उसको कुछ नहीं करना है. He's just tired, so any which ways he's just drinking that tea and eating a stale chapati. Stale chapati, it shows that how alone he is. There's no one to actually cook a hot, fresh roti for him. He's eating a stale chapati which must have been cooked in the morning when others sit for lunch and dinner. Reading a book. He goes into the toilet to contemplate. Again, general male quality of thinking everything in the bathroom. I don't know what you guys have this attraction. He goes into the toilet to contemplate. He's thinking. What is he thinking? Man's estrangement from a man-made world. This is a very strong line. Man's estrangement, that man has become alone. He's estranged, he's left alone in a man-made world. So here it means this man, he's worked hard all his life, he's built a family, he's got married, he's had children. उसने ही उसका खुद का world बनाया, but in his own world he is somewhere left alone. Because there's no one to actually cook chapati, he's drinking tea all by himself, he's reading a book. There's no one to actually sit and have a conversation with him how his day was and if he has any problems, if there are any medicines to be brought, anything. So he's thinking that how in a world which I have made, I worked hard, I built a house, I built a family, and in that world which is made by me, I am only left alone, right? Coming out, he trembles at the sink, the cold water running over his brown hands, suggest old age. Few droplets cling to the graying hairs on his wrist. Old age again. His sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. His sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. That is, there's no one to actually have a conversation with. Everyone is asleep or have gone out or busy in their own lives, and there is even his children are not there to have a conversation with him about the day, about his day or those children's day, whatever. He will now go to sleep, listening to the static on the radio, dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren. Ancestors and grandchildren show the life that he has seen as a child, and now he is on his phase of being a grandparent. So the entire life circle and the life comes to a whole shows of ancestors and grandchildren. He is also thinking about ancestors, that is past. He is also thinking about grandchildren, that is future. Thinking of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. Nomads entering, he is thinking of how these nomads entered through a subcontinent, Indian subcontinent basically. Yes. Yes. He is talking about how these nomads entered in the Indian subcontinent, and then how life evolved and they started working, and then they made a happy family, and despite of so much human evolution, still a human is alone, is what this line means. Understood the poem? Want me to read again? No? About the poem, poet title Father Returning Home is written by renowned poet Dilip Chitre. He was a famous bilingual poet and translator who wrote in Marathi and English. This poem is taken from his well-known work Traveling in a Cage. The poem presents a realistic portrait of a suburban commuter, an old man, and his dull, silent, monotonous daily routine, and how he is left alone in his own family. Main theme of the poem is alienation and isolation. The poet shows the lonely and isolated life of an old man in modern society. The father's painful loneliness symbolizes man's separation from the materialistic world. The generation gap between father and his children is also a prominent theme of the poem. Poetic style, language and device. The poem has 2 stanzas and is written in free verse, so it has no fixed meter or a rhyming scheme. Lack of rhythm reflects the monotonous and dull life. The language is simple and informal. The poet uses images and poetic devices like simile, alliteration, onomatopoeia, imagery, inversion, and मैं ही पढ़ूँ ना सब. Special features: the poem is written from the perspective of a son and has an autobiographical touch. It is rich in symbolism. The poem is divided into 2 parts. The first stanza describes father's pitiable routine life, while the second reflects his forced alienation through stale food and lack of emotional connection. So it talks about, how despite being old, he is still working, and this is written in olden times wherein, fathers generally did not take out the time to, spend time with their children. And nowadays fathers do that when they have a time that is fixed that they'll spend with their child. It was always the mom who was taking care of the child and spending the time with them, and that is why children are more connected to the mom, daughter or son, irrespective, because mother is always present and the father is working till late evening. Train mein wo वापस आ रहा है showing. He is working from morning to night to build that family and to earn and to live a livelihood. That is why it also sorts of creates a gap between a father and a son and a father and a daughter, wherein he is not able to spend that quality time with the children. So now this is not the case, but this is written earlier, so that is why these are these 2 themes. Message, value, or moral. Poem conveys that old people are neglected and ignored in modern society. The generation gap has created emotional distance and disrespect towards elders. It urges society to show love, care, and understanding towards old people. Personal opinion, I feel very sad for the father shown in the poem. I like the poem because it is realistic and relevant to today's society. It makes us think about our responsibility towards our parents and elders. Poetic device, my father travels on the late evening train, alliteration. Standing among silent commuters, repetition of sound S, again alliteration. Suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. What is the transferred epithet? Do you understand this line? The epithet unseeing has been transferred from the poet to his eyes. Can eyes unsee? No. Poet can unsee these suburbs. Here, what has been transferred? Instead of the poet unseeing these suburbs, his eyes are unseeing these suburbs. So it is a transferred epithet. Understood this poetic device, or is there still any confusion? Alliteration, paradox, unseeing eyes itself is self-contradictory. Personification, suburbs have been given a human-like quality of sliding. His shirts and pants are soggy and his black raincoat, the black raincoat is indirectly compared to the bleakness of a rainy day. Stained with mud and his bag is stuffed with books is falling apart. Repetition of sound S. His eyes dimmed by age fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. Transferred epithet. Epithet humid has been transferred from the weather to the night. Can the night be humid? What is humid? Temperature. So it has been transferred to night. So that is transferred epithet. Metaphor, eyes that fade homeward is indirectly compared to very nice. Simile, smile हो गया है इधर. Action of father getting off from the crowd is directly compared to a word being dropped from a long sentence. That is a simile. Metaphor, alliteration, length of the grey platform is indirectly compared to father's old age. Alliteration भी है इसमें. Cold water running over his brown hands. Brown has been transferred from man to hands. Any doubt? Yes or no? Yes or no? Chalo. Money by William Davis. When I had money oh, I knew no joy till I went poor. For many a false man as a friend came knocking all day at my door. Then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet that he must not blow. Because a man is dead, I dared not to speak to let this false world know. Much have I thought of life and seen how poor men's hearts are ever light, and how their wives do hum like bees about their work from morn till night. So when I hear these poor ones laugh, I see the rich ones coldly frown. Poor men think I need not go up so much as rich men should come down. When I had money oh, my many friends proved all untrue. But now I have no money oh, my friends are real, though very few. What does he mean here is, there was a time when this poet had enough money and he did not know what real joy is or true happiness is. Once he's gone poor and now he has not very much money left, he understands that true happiness lies in not materialistic things, but rather than being with the family and true friends around. So another pretense that he says is that when he had money, he had, the number of friends was large in number. He had many friends because of the money he had, and they were not very true in the friendship. So they were all, friends with him because of the materialistic possession that he had. Now that he's gone poor, he has few friends. All these friends have now gone. He has few friends, but these few set of friends are very true. True in the sense of friendship and companion. So they're true friends now. So what he means to say is, when now I have no money, I understand what true friendship and real friendship is. Then he says, then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet that he must not blow because a man is dead. Came not, I dared not to speak to let this false world know how much I have thought of life and seen, how poor men's heart are ever light and how their wives do hum like bees. So it is like when a child has a trumpet, you gift a child or you give a child a trumpet and he wants to blow it all day. But because there is a death nearby, you ask that child not to blow the trumpet. So it is like he had the resources and everything, but he could not blow that trumpet and show off. Now that he's gone poor, he witnesses how poor people live, and he sees that how these poor men go to work and work hard every day, and their wives do hum like bees. What do they hum like bees? About the work from morn to night. So no matter, these poor people are working hard from morning till night, they are yet humming like bees, that is, they are happy in the work. What happens with a rich person? He'll work for a certain 5 to 6 hours a day or whatever. He will have the money, he will have the resources, everything, but yet he'll complain about something because there is something that is to be achieved, some target that is to be completed, some goal that is to be achieved monetarily, that this year I have earned so much money, next year I have to earn more. So in earning that more and wanting that something more, rich people are always behind something and not satisfied in what they are doing. In contrast to that, poor people, they work hard from morning till night. They are not very skilled, unskilled labor hai, poor hai. They'll work from morning till night, but at the end of the day they are very happy in what they have done, and they're content and satisfied with how the day has been spent, rather than running behind things and achieving these unrealistic and materialistic things. So when I hear these poor ones laugh, now what he says is, when I hear these poor ones laugh and see the rich ones coldly frown, poor ones are happy, sad. Poor men think I need not go up so much as rich men should come down. Need not go up is poor people, wherever they are with the financial condition and everything, they should stay where they are because they are at least happy. What here he means is rich men should come down. Rather than poor becoming richer, rich people should, come to the level of a poor person and stay happy. He might not mean it monetarily, but what he means is that in a lifestyle or in the way of living life and, giving time to the family and staying with each other, he means that poor people should not go up as compared to what rich people should come down. When I had money, my many friends proved all untrue. Again, friendship, he says, they're all very untrue. But now I have no money. My friends are real, though very few. The number of friends are very few, but the friendship is real. So no matter the volume, the quality of friendship is good and true. Understood? Understood the poem? Chalo, fatafat. Breakdown, stanza 1. The poet reflects on his time with money, feeling joy only when he lost it, as wealth brought many false friends. He felt like a child with a trumpet he couldn't blow due to social constraints, realizing true feelings were buried under wealth. Trumpet he could not blow is, there वो होता है ना एक, if you go and ask your parents or the true joy is when they go to their village or from where they came, and the lifestyle that they had no dining tables, they used to sit with everyone on the floor and have lunch and dinner, and that was true happiness. It is still true happiness. But because now everyone is wealthy and is rich, that status is there that, oh, you cannot sit down and eat. This is one example that I'm saying. You always have a pressure of, wearing good branded clothes and then portraying yourself that you have money from top to bottom. You'll wear shoes which are very branded. You'll wear clothes. Socially also you will have to be like, always formal and tip in top and talk in a manner which shows that you have a status and you are rich. So he had that trumpet which he could not blow is because of these social constraints and the status that he wanted to maintain. He was not able to experience the true joy of life. That is what he means. Why a child with a trumpet? The child is happy when he wants to blow the trumpet, right? But because someone is dead, he cannot blow it, so he becomes sad. So that is why, like this, the rich person cannot experience true joys in life because of the social status and the dilemma and the constraints. Stanza 3. When poor, he found that poor people he observed were happier and more genuine than the wealthy ones. He now has friends, few friends, but are true, unlike the many untrue friends he had when he was rich. The poem concludes that while money is necessary for basic needs, true richness comes from real connection and not materialistic possessions. Understood? Appreciation. William Davis was a well-known Welsh poet and writer. His poems are inspired by his experience as a wanderer and his love for simple joy of life. He believed in appreciating nature, true friendship and simple living rather than material wealth. Central theme is true meaning of wealth and happiness. Poet shows that money does not bring real happiness. True joy lies in simplicity, human relations and appreciating small things in life. Poem is written in simple, clear language. The style is conversational and reflective, making it easy for readers to connect with the poet's thoughts and emotions. Figures of speech, metaphor, antithesis, repetition. Favorite line, this is optional. Message, the poem teaches us that money can buy true happiness. Real joy comes from simple living, meaningful relationships and satisfaction and contentment, which is nothing to do with materialistic possessions. The poem is based on the poet's personal experience but conveys a universal message. It is a simple language and makes it easy to understand. Rhyme scheme and structure give it a smooth and rhythmic flow. What is the rhyme scheme? AB. बोलो जल्दी. डाइजेस्ट में क्या है? AB होगा. ABCB. Why ABCB? एक सेकेंड. ABCB. Poor friend door. This is ABCB. Poor and door. Like that, ABCB. समझा? Yes or no? चलो. Money teaches an important life lesson. It reminds us that happiness does not come from riches but from simple joy, love and human connections. यही repetition है. Theme में भी, personal response में भी, conclusion में भी, central idea and theme में भी. चलो. For many a false man as a friend. Inversion भी है. Many a false man came knocking at my door is one correct order of words. So inversion भी है and for many a false friend. So this is also alliteration. Then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet. Again inversion. Correct order is then I felt like a child that holds the trumpet. हाँ? Like है तो simile भी है. The poet directly compares himself to a child that has a trumpet. Inversion. Much have I thought of life and seen. Again inversion. Poor men think I not. Inversion. Inversion is the words are not arranged in a proper order to give a rhythmic effect. For many a false man as friend. So false men have been compared to fake friends. So that is a simile. Then I felt like a child. Again simile. How their wives do hum like bees. So wives have been compared to bees. हमिंग है तो ओनोमेटोपिया. रेपिटेशन है, मनी का रेपिटेशन बहुत जगह पे हुआ है इन 2 लाइन्स. About their work from morn till night. Morning and night are 2 opposite words presented in the same line, that is antithesis. So when I hear these, poor ones laugh and rich ones coldly frown. Laugh and frown, poor and rich are 2 contrasting ideas giving it antithesis, poetic device. Poor men think I need not go up so much as rich men should come down. Poor and rich, again antithesis. Because a man is dead, I dead. D, repetition, alliteration. My many friends proved all untrue. Many and my. That is again alliteration. Any doubt? Understood? Again easy poem. Now, she walks in beauty by Lord Byron. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. Climes is climate and a sky where there is no clouds, plain sky, starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes. Dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes. Eyes are bright, aspect, hair. So, in the entire body language, there is a perfect balance of dark and bright. Dark and bright is dark hair, bright eyes. Thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. It is mellowed to a tender light. That is, that darkness and the brightness been softened to a level that even heaven to gaudy day denies. Gaudy is which heaven to gaudy day denies. So even the heaven which makes the day is gaudy in front of her. She is so perfect. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace. Nameless grace, he is not named this person or the lady that he is talking about. Grace is because she is beautiful and graceful, so he is written grace. One shade the more, one ray the less is, here he is talking about the skin tone. That means, had she been one shade fairer, one shade darker, it could have impaired the perfection or the perfect skin tone that she has. So one shade the more, one shade the less, had half impaired the nameless grace. Impaired is destroyed or ruined. So she is so perfect, her skin tone is so perfect that had she been one tone or one skin fairer or one tone darker, she could have not looked as beautiful and perfect as she is now. Which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens over her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure or dear their dwelling place. Waves in raven. What does waves mean? वो waves नहीं है. It is the curls. Or softly lightens over her hair. Her hair is dark. First stanza में जो बोला है, she has a dark hair, and when it falls over her face, so there is a light, soft light that falls on that hair, and she starts looking beautiful. I don't know which girl he is describing, and the level of being romantic is to the next level, but you will have to understand his feelings now. Which waves in every raven trees, or softly lightens over her face. So, where thoughts serenely sweet express. Where are thoughts? Thoughts कहाँ पे होते हैं human body में? Mind. How pure, how dear their dwelling place. Dwelling place is the mind. So, in her mind, these thoughts which are so pure, so sweet, serenely sweet, express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. So, her mind is also so pure, her thoughts are also so pure, and her hair fall on her face like a dark you know, trees में जो birds होते हैं वैसा falls over her face. So it is a perfect combination of dark and bright, that is dark and fair skin tone. And on that cheek and over that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smile that wins, the tint that glow, but tell of days and goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. On that cheek, over that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smile that wins, the tint that glow. When you smile, those smile lines affects your cheek, your brow, and when you smile, there is a redness on the face. Uske face pe hai, cheeks pe, she starts glowing, there is a red tint on her face and over her brows, and you know, so on her skin tint there is a red glow, red cheeks, skin tint bolte hai usko. So on that cheek, over that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent. It is very soft, that glow is very soft, that is very calm, yet it is eloquent. It is very beautiful. Smile that win, tints that glow. Smile, she has a very winning smile. Anyone, she can win hearts with her smile. Tints that glow. The tint that she has on her face when she starts smiling, and the bright cheeks and red cheeks. But tell of days and goodness spent. So those tint and the smile and the glow on her face talk about the days that she spent, and they are spent in a very good manner, or a good quality time she is spent. She spent a very good life, which reflects on her skin, which is not stressful and not wrinkles and not tension marks and anything. It is all soft and calm and beautiful, and that portrays the life that she spent in a good manner. A mind at peace with all below. Everything that she has, with that she has a mind at peace. With a physical appearance, she also has a mental calmness in her, and a heart whose love is innocent. क्या figure of speech है ये? Heart whose love is innocent. This is the 4th time we are doing this poetic book. Thank you. Transferred epithet. A mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. So her mind is at peace and her heart is also innocent. Understood the poem? Understood? Yes or no? Chal. Appreciation about the poem. Poet title. The poem She Walks in Beauty is written by Lord Byron. It is an ode written in praise of an unknown woman who is extremely beautiful. Lord Byron is regarded as one of the greatest English poets, known for his effective use of language. In this poem, he describes the beauty of an unnamed woman. The title is apt as it highlights the graceful and charming manner in which the woman carries her beauty. Kindergarten में कौन सा poem आता था? Rosy lips and dimpled cheeks, and what was that? Always it is reminded. This reminds me of that kindergarten poem. Twinkle, twinkle, little stars does not have rosy dimple chin. Which poem was that? Poem भी नहीं पता. Boys, I cannot expect. Theme of the poem. Chalo. Beauty is the main theme of the poem. Okay. The poet praises various features of the woman, such as her eyes, cheeks, brows, and tresses. Tresses is hair, and skin color. Inner beauty is also emphasized as an important factor that enhances outer beauty. Another important theme is harmony and balance. The poet compares her beauty to natural elements like night, cloud, clear skies, starry skies, and light in heaven. Poetic style, language, device. The poem is rich in poetic device such as alliteration, personification, metaphor, antithesis, and simile. Example of simile, like the night. Example of alliteration, cloudless clime, starry skies. Antithesis is used through words like dark and bright, which enhance the beauty of the poem. The language is simple, lyrical, and musical. The poet shows that true beauty lies not only in appearance but also in calm mind and innocent heart. Special features, tone, type. The tone of the poem is soft, admiring and graceful. It is an ode, a poem written in praise of a person. Through the though the woman is unnamed, her beauty is highly glorified. The poet beautifully blends physical beauty with the spiritual purity that she has. Her soul is pure and her mind is also at calm. The poet conveys an important message that inner beauty is more valuable than outer beauty. Outer beauty is temporary, but inner beauty is divine and everlasting. A pure heart and calm mind makes a person truly beautiful. Personal opinion, I find this poem very beautiful and soothing. The poet's description of beauty is gentle and meaningful. The poem teaches us to value inner goodness more than physical appearance, which makes it inspiring and timeless. There's nothing inspirational in this poem, but the ones who want to take inspiration can. Chal. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. Similarly, women's beauty is compared to night of cloudless climes and starry skies. Starry skies, cloudless climes, alliteration bhi hai. And all that's best of dark and bright. Dark and bright is contrast or antithesis. Two separating ideas, two contrasting ideas, not separating, two contrasting ideas presented in one line. Imagery bhi hai, meet in her aspect and her eyes. The poet creates a vivid picture by combining darkness and brightness. So soft, so calm, alliteration, repetition of sound S. Where thoughts serenely sweet express. It is personification. Thoughts have been given a human-like quality of expressing. Mind at peace with all below. Mind is indirectly compared to peace, showing inner beauty and harmony. And all that's best of dark and bright, again contrast या antithesis. Any doubt? So, yes. Personification is when a human-like quality is given to a non-human being. Song of the open road is singing. Whereas transferred epithet, two ideas, it can be living, non-living. Eyes see, but they have said, what is being said in the father thing? Unseeing eyes. That is a, एक second. A heart whose love is innocent. Now here it is not personification. A person loves, here heart is not given a quality of loving. If it would have said heart is loving, then that would have been personification, because heart is given a human-like quality of loving. Here what it is said, a heart whose love is innocent. Person is innocent, a heart is never innocent. So it is transferred epithet. Understood? The difference between personification and transferred epithet. Here it is said, had it been said that the heart who is expressing innocence, loving innocence, talking about innocence, then heart is given a human-like quality of talking, expressing, saying, loving. Here it says a heart whose love is innocent. So it is being given a transferred quality. In transferred epithet, you do not, it shouldn't be कि human-like qualities नहीं transfer होती है. Non-living, living does not matter in transferred epithet. Personification में non-living चीज़ों को living चीज़ों का quality दिया जाता है. Understood? Doubt clear है? चलो, again. Small towns and rivers by Mamang Dai. Small towns always remind me of death. My hometown lies calmly amidst the trees. It is always the same. In summer or winter with the dust flying or the wind howling down the gorge. In the first stanza, she says, so this poet belongs to a small town. And she stays in Arunachal Pradesh. And she wants to say that small towns always remind her of death. Why death? Because it lies calmly amidst the trees. There is always silence, like death. And it is always the same. Be it summer or winter, things are always the same. Like the city is ever evolving, right? City में buildings construct हो रहे हैं, infrastructure है, there is development that is happening, urban development है. Unlike that,
In rural areas or in the small towns and villages, everything is the same. There is no change, there is no new school getting built, there is no hospital getting built, there is no cafes getting built. So that reminds her of death. A uh, monotonous way of life that is there in these small towns and villages. In summer or winter, with the dust is flying because it is all open, or the wind blowing down the gorge. Summer mein dust is flying, winter mein wind is howling down the gorge. It is all the same every summer, every winter. So small towns remind her of death. Just the other day, someone died. In the dreadful silence we wept, looking at the sad wreath of tuberoses. Life and death, only the rituals are permanent. So what she means is, just the other day in that small village, there was a funeral that happened because someone died. And in the dreadful silence we wept. Dreadful silence, small towns and villages में horns नहीं है, workstations नहीं है, factories नहीं है, तो there is a eerie silence in that entire town and village. And in that silence, dreadful silence, that silence is very dreadful. It is like death. In that dreadful silence, everyone wept, everyone cried. Looking at the sad wreath of tuberoses. The tuberoses, wreath is the ring of roses that is given or kept on the dead body or the coffin. Life and death, life and death, life and death, life and death is repeated because she says that someone is getting born, someone is dying, someone is getting born, someone is dying. The cycle is going on. What remains as it is the rituals. Someone is getting born, everyone is happy. Someone is dying, everyone is sad. So this ritual is permanent. The person goes, then he is placed in a coffin. There is the tuberoses that are placed. A baby is born, then there for 3 months the mother is taken care of. The food habits change, the diet changes. But this is all permanent. That birth hone pe kya hoga, death hone pe kya hoga. This is permanent. What changes is life and death. Just जगह पे कोई एक baby must be getting born, at the same time someone is dying. So life and death, what remains permanent is the rituals. Now the river has a soul. What she says in the first 2 stanzas, she said that these small towns and villages remind me of death. They die, there's no life to it. Third stanza she says, but the river which is flowing in these small towns, that has a soul. Why it has a soul? In the summer it cuts through the land, वो पीछे चली जाती है river. It does not have the same flow because it dries up, right? Like a torrent of grief. It goes back like a torrent of grief. Torrent is the water. What is a torrent? Just like a cyclone. Yes. So the river goes back and it has a grief. That grief is so much, torrent of grief. Here the river has been given a human-like quality of being sad. तो वो जब मुरझा जाती है river, तो ये बोल रहा है कि she becomes sad. The river becomes sad. Sometimes I think it holds its breath, seeking a land of fish and stars. So while in summer it dries up, it is seeking a land of fish and stars. Land of fish and stars. There are fishes in the river, there is stars in the sky, and everything is pleasant and beautiful. But in summer everything is dried up. Second stanza of Why River Has a Soul. It knows, stretching past the town, from the first drop of rain to dry earth, a mist on the mountain top, the river knows the immortality of water. Why river has a soul? When it is flowing through these different towns, the river knows first drop of rain, where there has been rain first, and dry earth, it flows from the area that has rains to the area that is dry now. Mist on the mountain tops, the river also knows which mountain tops have mist on them. The river knows the immortality of water. The river knows that the water is never going to be dead. So that is why the river has a soul. A shrine of happy pictures marks the day of childhood. Small towns grow with anxiety for the future. The dead are placed pointing west. While the soul rises, it will walk into the golden east, into the house of sun. A shrine of happy pictures marks the days of childhood. Whenever you see your childhood photos, it brings a sense of happiness and joy to you, that oh, how childhood was, right? So, like that, small towns grow with anxiety for the future. Small towns are here compared to the childhood. They are still in that, they're still in their childhood phase, and they are growing, and while that growth, they are worried about the future. Why? Because there is no said growth in these small towns and villages. There is no urban development, like I said. So, like these happy childhood pictures, it is also thinking about the future, and while thinking about the future and growth, it has an anxiety about how the future will be. The dead are placed pointing west. The direction for burying the dead bodies is west. When the soul rises, it will walk into the golden east. Why? Because soul rises is, the dead body is cremated or whatever, the soul which will rise from it, Atma, that will go towards the east. West mein hai, it will go to the opposite side, into the house of sun, towards the sun. In the cool bamboo restored in sunlight, life matters like this. In the cool bamboo, bamboo is the crematory or the crematorium is constructed, and it is closed with the help of bamboos, cool bamboos, right? So restored in sunlight, life matters like this. So वो crematorium में bamboo के surrounding में these dead are placed, and their soul is now walking towards the sun. In small town by the river, we all want to walk with the gods. So she wants to say that in these small towns by the river, where the river is flowing, we all want to walk with gods. Gods is, there is a belief that because nature is still very much prevalent there, nature is present there, there is rivers, there is mountains, there is trees and greenery around. So there is a belief that God resides in this nature. So when she says life matters like this, so despite of the anxiety for the future and despite wanting to grow, there is still a little wish in their heart that they want to stay in these small towns and walk with the gods. They want the rivers to flow, they want these small towns to be as it is, but not to, the development should not be to the extent that the God does not reside. The purity and the essence of small town should be restored and maintained. That is what she means. There is actually no connection between the paras, but because it has been given to you in the exam, you have to study. Chal. This poem is written by eminent poetess Mamang Dai, who belongs to Arunachal Pradesh. She is known for her deep connection with nature and her contribution to environmental awareness. In this poem, she describes a landscape and its immortal features, where the river is the most dominant and symbolic element. What she means is, the town is dead. It reminds her of death, but the river has a soul. River is the important element here. The title is apt as it highlights the importance of small towns and the river in that daily human life. Theme of the poem begins with the concept of death. It is shocking, which is shocking for reader. The poetess suggests that human life is temporary, but rituals and traditions are permanent. The town keeps changing due to development, but nature, especially the river, remains a silent witness. The theme focuses on impermanence of life, impact of modernization, and eternal presence of nature. So there is a conflict between whether these small towns should be developed or whether the purity and the essence of these small towns should be maintained and restored. Poem is written in free verse. River is personified by giving it human-like quality of having a soul. Metaphor, it is used when the poet says that river has a soul. Transferred epithet is used when it is the wreath sad. Sad wreath of tuber roses. Sad should be life. Sad should be the funeral that is carried. Here what is sad? Tuber roses ka wreath. Alliteration. Special features, tone and type. The poem has a serious, reflective and thought-provoking tone. It makes the reader introspect about human cruelty towards nature. The poet raises concern about environmental destruction and forces us to think about our responsibilities. The poet conveys that humans are responsible for destroying nature in the name of development. Our greed is harming rivers and landscapes, and true progress should be respective towards nature. Restoring nature, respecting and preserving nature, and yet at the same time there should be development. So there should not be a complete negation of nature. After reading this poem, I realized that we still have time to save our God-gifted nature. Poem strongly reminds us that our so-called progress is actually the enemy of nature. I find the poem meaningful and deeply relevant to today's world. Understood? Poetic device. My hometown lies calmly amidst trees. Personification. Hometown is personified, giving it a human-like quality of being calm. In summer or winter, antithesis, two opposite ideas. Just the other day, someone died. Alliteration, repetition of sound. D. Looking at the sad wreath of tuberoses, transferred epithet and personification. ये personification wrong है. नहीं, ये right. Right. Understood? Why both? What yes? Sad is a human-like quality. That's why it is personification also. Why transferred epithet? Because sad is talking about the situation of death. Here, the situation should have been death. The situation should have been sad. But here, the tuberoses are sad. So that is transferred epithet. Understood? Why both? No confusion? In the dreadful silence we wept. The word dreadful is transferred from the situation to silence. The situation should be dreadful. Here it says the silence is dreadful. Again, transferred epithet. Alliteration and inversion. Life and death, repetition and antithesis. Life and death are two opposite ideas. River has a soul, personification. In the summer it cuts through the land like a torrent of grief. The river is directly compared to torrent of grief using the word like, that is making it a simile. Personification, river has been given a human action of cutting. Metaphor, grief is indirectly compared to torrent. Sometimes I think it holds its breath, seeking a land of fish and stars. Personification, river is given a quality of holding the breath like a human or a person. Repetition, the word sometimes is repeated twice. Alliteration, repetition of sound S. From the first drop of rain to dry earth, alliteration, repetition of sound F and D. And mist on the mountain top, repetition of sound M, again alliteration. River knows, personification, quality of knowing something. Shrine of happy pictures, the word happy is transferred from childhood to pictures. Metaphor, happy pictures are indirectly compared to shrine. Pictures are given human-like quality of being sad, being happy, just like sad wreath of tuberoses. Understood? Small towns grow with anxiety for the future. Personification, given the quality of growing. Dead are placed pointing west. Alliteration, it will walk into the golden east. The word golden is transferred from rays of sun to the east. Into the house of sun, metaphor, east is compared to the house of sun. Life matters like this, repetition of sound L, alliteration. We all want to walk with gods, repetition of sound W, alliteration. Any doubt? Last poem. Inchcape Rock by Robert Southey. Now this is more like a story than a poem because the entire story line has been created in the form of a poetry, right? There is this rock which has been placed by the abbot of Aberbrothock. Abbot is a saint or a senior respected person of the city, and Aberbrothock is a place. So this abbot of Aberbrothock had placed a rock named as the Inchcape Rock towards in the sea. And why it was placed is because the tides used to be so high, there was a rock. So that there was a bell placed over that Inchcape Rock, and whenever there was storm-like situation, the waves made it to the bell and the bell rang. And that the ringing of the bell warned the sailors to be away from the Inchcape Rock. So now the story says that there is this one sailor who wants to ruin or impugn the name of this abbot. What he does is, because he's jealous and he does not want people to remember this abbot, he goes and cuts this bell over the Inchcape Rock. The bell is cut, it goes down and it sinks, right? Now he plunders the sails, there is loot and everything, and all the things that he have plundered and looted and everything. He's now come back to the Scotland shore. So in that Scotland shore is the Inchcape Rock. Now the contrast is that while sailing, the day was very beautiful. While coming towards the Scotland shore, the day was very beautiful. The river, the sea was very silent, very, very silent. There was no mention or no reason for a storm. But because his deeds or his thoughts were evil, what happens is, while reaching towards that Scotland shore, there is storm, and there's no light also, because it is in the night. So what happens is, he's not able to hear the bell because he's cut it himself. So now his ship hits that Inchcape Rock, and when it hits and this guy is seeing death in front of his eyes, he himself remembers that abbot of Aberbrothock, and he wishes that he had not cut the bell and he could have heard it and saved his life. So it is like karma coming back to bite. Understood? This is the entire story. Now they have put it in poetry form. How it has been put? Easy to understand, but try to be with me because it is a lengthy poem. No stir in the air, no stir in the sea. There's no movement. Very silent. The atmosphere is very silent. There's no air, there's no wind, and in the sea also there are no tides or waves. The ship was as still as she could be. As still as she could be. Very still. She's just flowing on the water with no high waves or tides. It's very pleasant and very serene and very silent. Her sails from heaven received no motion from heaven, because there is no air or no wind. The sails were not sailing. जो कपड़ा होता है ship पे, that was not moving, very silent. Her keel was steady in the ocean. Keel is the wooden part of that ship which is in the ocean. Without either sign or sound of their shock, the waves flowed over the Inchcape Rock. Without either sign or sound of their shock. Sound of their shock. There was no high waves and the bell was not ringing. The waves flowed over the Inchcape Rock. Normal scenario. So little they rose, so little they fell. They did not move the Inchcape bell. So the tides were so low that they were not so high that they could even reach the Inchcape bell. The worthy abbot of Aberbrothock had placed that bell on the Inchcape Rock.
On a buoy in the storm it floated and swung, and over the waves it warning rung. On a buoy in the storm, जब storm होता था, it floated and it swung. That bell floated and swung, making a sound warning the sailors that there is storm-like situation. Over the waves it's warning rung. Warning rung is there's a warning sign कि अभी ये rock से आप दूर हट जाओ. When the rock was hit by the surge's swell, the mariners heard the warning bell. Rock was hit by the surge's swell. Surge's swell is the long tide. Mariners heard the warning bell. Whenever there was high tide, these mariners and sailors heard the Inchcape bell, and then they knew the perilous rock. Dangerous and risky. They blessed the abbot of Aberbrothock. So they blessed ki acha hua this guy has placed a bell so that we can save our lives and we cannot get hit by the rock. The sun in the heaven was shining gay. All things were joyful on that day. The seabirds screamed as they wheeled around, and there was joyance in their sound. The sun in the heaven was shining gay. There was a beautiful sunlight. All things were joyful. Everything was pleasant and joyful. Seabirds screamed as they wheeled around. They were wheeling around, flying round and round, and these seabirds screamed, and that scream was also very joyful and pleasant. The boy on the Inchcape bell was seen, a darker speck on the ocean green. Sir Ralph the rover walked his deck and fixed his eye on the darker speck. The boy on the Inchcape bell was seen, a darker speck on the ocean green. That boy, or the bell that was placed, it was looking like a dark dot or a spot on the ocean green. Ocean green, sunlight and blue river or the sea. So that combination of the colors is making the sea look aqua green sort of color. And on that aqua green sea, that bell was viewed as a darker spot or a dark speck or a dot. Now what happens is the Sir Ralph the rover walked his deck. Deck is he walked towards his deck on the ship, fixed his eye on the darker speck. Now his eyes fell on the Inchcape bell. He felt the cheering power of spring. It made him whistle, it made him sing. His heart was mirthful to excess, but the rover's mirth was wickedness. Now, because the nature and the environment around was very beautiful, there was no, the sunlight was beautiful, there was no storm-like situation, there was no wind, everything was like spring, right? So it made him whistle, it made him sing, and it made him more cheerful. Because the environment was good around, the surroundings were good, it made him more cheerful. He whistled, he sang. His heart was mirthful to excess. His happiness knew no bound. But this happiness was wickedness. The happiness came from a wicked idea or an evil idea. His eye was on the Inchcape float. Quoth he, my men, put out the boat. Kya hua? His eye was on the Inchcape float. Quoth he, my men, put out the boat and row me to the Inchcape rock, and I'll plague the abbot of Aberbrothock. Now his eyes fell on that Inchcape bell. He told his men to take out the boat and take me towards that Inchcape rock. What I'll do is, I'll plague the abbot of Aberbrothock. How he'll plague it? By cutting the bell. The boat is lowered, the boatmen row, and to the Inchcape rock they go. Sir Ralph bent over from the boat and he cut the bell from the Inchcape float. He reached that Inchcape bell. He bent down and he cut the Inchcape bell which was placed on the rock. Down sang the bell with a gurgling sound. The bubbles rose and burst around. Because the bell, there is a vacuum, right? So when it falls, there is bubbles and bubbles that come up. Quoth Sir Ralph, the next who comes to the rock won't bless the abbot of Aberbrothock. This was his wickedness. Sir Ralph the rover sailed away. He scarred the seas for many a day. Scarred the seas is he was sailing on the sea for many a days. And now grown rich with plundered store, whatever he's looted and the theft that he's done, because he was that क्या बोलते हैं उसको, pirate. So whatever plundered and looted store that he had, he steers his course for Scotland's shore. Now he is coming towards Scotland. So thick a haze overspreads the sky, they cannot see the sun on high. The wind had blown a gale all day, at evening it had died away. So thick a haze overspreads the sky, the sky is very foggy. You're not able to see what is there in front of you. You cannot see the sun, and the wind had blown gale all day. पूरा दिन wind था, but अभी it has also died away. That wind has also died away now. There's only fog, and you're not able to see what is there. On the deck, the rover takes a stand. So dark it is, they see no land. It has become so dark that they're not able to see what is there in front of them. Quoth Sir Ralph, it will be lighter soon, for there is the dawn of rising moon. What he says is, now he is trying to console his own men and himself, that don't worry, it will be lighter soon because there is dawn of the rising moon. Dawn of the rising moon is, moon ke baad there is sunrise also that is going to happen. So don't worry, there will be light soon. Canst hear, said one, the breakers roar? For me thinks we should be near the shore. Now where we are I cannot tell, but I wish we could hear the Inchcape bell. Now his own crew member is saying, canst hear, said the breakers roar? For me thinks we should be near the shore. Breakers roar is, there is a symbol or a sign that is there near the shore. Now they're not able to hear that. So he's not able to actually decide or guess where they actually are. But I wish I could hear the Inchcape bell. So he wished that if he could have heard the Inchcape bell, he could have been able to gauge where he is, right? They hear no sound, the swell is strong. Swell is the waves and the tides are. Though the wind hath fallen, they drift along. There is no wind, but despite there being no wind, these waves are flowing very high and strongly, till the vessel strikes with a shivering shock. Now the vessel has hit the rock. Shivering shock. When this big ship hits the rock, the entire ship moves and there is a lot of movement. So it has come like a shock. It is shivering now. Oh Christ, it is the Inchcape rock. It has hit the Inchcape rock. Sir Ralph the rover tore his hair in despair. He cursed himself in his despair. Now, what he thought, that people will curse Abbot of Aberbrothock. What is he doing here? He is cursing himself. The waves rush in on every side. Waves rush in on every side is because the ship has hit the rock, it is broken now. तो वो ship के अंदर पानी घुस रहा है अभी from every side. The ship is sinking beneath the tide. The ship has now started sinking. But even in his dying fear is he can see death in front of him. One dreadful sound could the rover hear. A sound as if with the Inchcape bell, the devil below was ringing his knell. What उसको क्या सुनाई दे रहा है? There is a devil below and he is ringing his knell. Knell is the death sound. So with the bell, he is inviting death of that Ralph the rover. Understood? Poem समझा? Story समझी? Alliteration 2 मिनट पढ़ लो. Alliteration पढ़ लो. पढ़ लिया? पढ़ो जल्दी.
Done. Poem as such is easy to understand because it is written in a very story-like format. Words भी easy है, काफ़ी hard नहीं है. Read the second page. चलो. Poetic device, no stir in the air, no stir in the sea. Repetition, alliteration, no stir is repeated. Ship was still as she could be. Ship is given a personification quality of being a female or a girl. Alliteration of sound, ship, sh. Her sails from heaven received no motion. Ship is personified, personification, alliteration. Her keel was steady, again personification. So little they rose, so little they fell, again repetition. Rose and fell, antithesis, and it is anticlimax because ideas move from higher to lower order. Understood? On a buoy in the storm, it floated and swung. Inversion and alliteration. And over the waves it warning rung, personification and alliteration. Alliteration, inversion, alliteration. What is anaphora? It made him, huh? नहीं बता. It made him whistle, it made him sing. Same words are repeated at the beginning of the line. Anaphora is when two lines, there is a line break. Two lines start with the same words. That is, it made him whistle, it made him. So that is anaphora. Same words are repeated at the beginning of the line. Beginning of the line में same words है तो anaphora. In between है तो repetition. And to the Inchcape Rock they go, inversion, alliteration. Sir Ralph bent over from the boat, alliteration, repetition of sound B. Down sunk the bell with a gurgling sound, onomatopoeia. Bubbles rose and burst around, again onomatopoeia, alliteration and climax. He scarred the seas for many a day, alliteration, paradox, interrogation. Canst hear, said one, the breakers roar, interrogation hai. Oh Christ, it is the Inchcape Rock, exclamation, that is an exclamatory sentence is used. So now if you see in overall poetry section of yours, what are the common poetic devices? Alliteration हर जगह है. Inversion, repetition, metaphor, simile, antithesis, transferred epithet, imagery, onomatopoeia. So you can write these in your appreciation. Poetry section is done. You have any doubts? Have you understood the poem? This is the fastest speed in one can explain the poems to you. Any doubt?